Welcome. It's been 2 months since Donald Trump became president again in the United States, and his main purpose so far has been to level up the trade environment which the global economy functions on. So today, we're going to talk about Trump's tariffs and what the media misses. Mere finance is built based on just pure financial data, not built for any political approach, but we need to showcase some data that shows that maybe we are missing something as investors or as the media. The free trade, this is the G20 trade barriers by type as of 2022 to 2023. The 2024 data will come soon. So biggest 20 economies in the world. You can see the United States out of the 20 is the lowest in tariffs. Why? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Like one is that every country has a trade surplus with the US. The US also 75% of its economy is consumption, the American way of just consuming, because it's access to credit, because the dollar is very strong, and because it's also cultural to consume, right? So I think you can see that the United States actually has a pretty low tariff or trade barriers, which makes it a really good country to sell to, because there is no tariff, so you can sell to it. Just produce and sell. Look at Argentina, South Korea, United Kingdom. It's unbelievable the amount of tariffs that you create. You're almost doubling the cost of your products. So the problem here is that Trump is extremely poor at explaining these things. I think the way he explains it is more an attack on those countries and this nationalism of trade that America has to be number one. Well, I think he misses that he should proclaim the message as leavening the environment up, because the United States for years and years has just been consuming and consuming. It is blatantly clear that every country out there takes advantage of the US. I mean, the data shows it. Every country has a surplus. And I think Trump's idea is to have equal barriers to trade, preferably zero. So like everyone just drops the tariffs. That would be ideal, right? And the world believes trade policy is we can sell anything we make to the United States and tariffs are bad. But if the United States wants to sell us stuff, us as a country, tariffs are in the national interest. Therefore, they are good. So it's like a dual position, right? It's good when I apply tariffs. It's not good when the United States applies tariffs to my products. Just look in Costa Rica. You have 30% tariffs for cars. This is the same across other Latin American, Hispanic American countries. 30%. What are they protecting? None of the Hispanic countries produce cars. There's not a single car produced by a Hispanic American country. Of course, in Colombia, in Brazil, in Argentina, you have producers of Japanese, European, and American cars, but no country has its own car industry. So that's the issue, no? Like, you are in a country like Costa Rica and you're trying to buy a car which is the same as in the United States, but you get 30% off because the government just wants that tariff so they can create more revenue and more taxes. Nothing for protection of your industry. And the problem there is that these Hispanic American countries, they just focus on that. They make tariffs on capital, right? In your machinery, which will really help get machinery faster, quicker, cheaper, and you can do so many products, so many infrastructure products. Hispanic American countries have poor infrastructure. So with equipment, with capital, you could get better. Also tons of clothes, a lot of Nike, Adidas, all these sports clothes, they get expensive because there is tariffs on that. Also, in other machinery, in the pharmaceutical industry, in the biotechnology industry, biomedical research, it gets taxes on trades at 30-40%. So it becomes an issue because then you are not letting your own country get all this capital and boom, it will make the economy just completely go up. Just for example, look at this drill. 124 in Home Depot is $200 in Costa Rica. Why? It's the same drill. Costa Rica doesn't produce drills. If I want to build a house in Costa Rica, I want a drill. What do I have to do? Pay $200. Why wouldn't instead I'll have to pay maybe, I don't know, 150, 140, just pay that cost. But because tariffs make it so hard, then there is no progress as we would like in the Hispanic American countries. And the other problem is on top of the tariffs, you have what they call the value added tax, the IVA, Impuesto al Valor Agregado, which we did a thesis, we'll share it, on how the value added tax actually has an effect on inequality, right? We decided that at 7%, the value added taxes would be optimal to decrease inequality. And you can see Argentina is 21%, Costa Rica 13%, Colombia 19%, Chile 19%. So on top of the tariff, you also get the consumer to pay an extra 20, 15, 13% tax. That's unbelievable. And the unbelievable part is that all the money that comes, there's still deficits in all of these countries. Look at Panama, 7%, which ironically, or not ironically, substantially, it has the lowest inequality in Latin America. And Paraguay, is also, which we talk about here, has 10%. They have 10% flat tax across sales, corporate income, and it's also a thriving country with young population. And in Europe is another beast. Look at the UK, 20%. So on top of the tariffs, you get all this value-added tax. Spain, Sweden, Netherlands, Finland. That's something I don't understand. How can you tax so high, even with tariffs? You just make your population poorer and poorer. They cannot consume. Because they cannot consume, their life being gets lower. But maybe Mirror Finance just shows data, and there is a cultural aspect that we cannot grasp, and we would like the people that watch this video to maybe educate us. So thank you for watching, and let us know what you think.